everybody, I'm Laura Trump coming to you from Studio 45 at Trump Tower in New York City. At 20 and counting, the number of Democrats running for president keeps growing. And in one way or another, they're all embracing socialism, open borders, and direct attacks on our individual liberties. Joining me to discuss the race for 2020 is a senior advisor for the Trump campaign and my good friend, Katrina Pierson. Katrina, thanks so much for joining me. Love having you on.
So great to be with you, Laura. It's such an exciting time in our history.
Isn't it, though? Now, I want to start by reading you a list of names, and I want to get your reaction. Biden, Booker, Buttigieg, Castro, Delaney, Gabbard, Gillibrand, Gravel, Harris, Hickenlooper, Inslee, Klobuchar, Messam, Moulton, O'Rourke, Ryan, Sanders, Swalwell, Warren, Williamson, and Yang. Sounds like a really long law firm. Katrina, who are all of these people, right? What is going on here?
Well, I think that is a great question. And if you look at all of these people out there on the campaign trail competing for who can be the most crazy, I mean, it is really a clown car full of Trump derangement syndrome, ranging from your typical hashtag resistance, lather, rinse, and repeat Russia hoax narrative, all the way to allowing convicted murdering terrorists to vote from their jail cell. They're actually talking about reparations for an unidentifiable community of people. Meanwhile, we have Americans out there who has a 401k that's increasing, who are finding jobs, who are finding opportunities available to them that weren't available in the last administration. So I'm not quite sure what their goal is going to be on the left, but it's definitely not making America great.
Well, I think they've all been very clear about that. Bernie Sanders actually kicked off his campaign by stating that issues such as free college and Medicare for all were considered too radical in 2016 when he previously ran, but are now mainstream in the Democrat Party. Is he right, Katrina? Is socialism the path to victory for Democrats?
Well, look, I think they've actually successfully rebranded the term through the personalities of Bernie Sanders and AOC and others, not to the true definition of what socialism is. And the question is, how are they going to sell this? And in fact, I don't think that that's the goal, Laura. If we look at what they're doing, they're out there trying to buy votes, not really sell their policies. They want to give everything away for free, even as impractical as it is and so far away from reality. Their goal is to make things sound really good. And I think that we're going to have a fun job kind of pointing out that all of the policies that they're pushing, like free Medicare for all, you have the Medicare-aged candidates on the left who aren't even in Medicare now. You have them talking about wanting to raise taxes, though they're releasing their tax returns and they're not paying more than what they're supposed to pay, but everyone else is. And so I think pointing out the hypocrisy along the way is just going to really uncover the true motivation behind this point of socialism. It's they want to control everything for everyone while exempting themselves the same way that they did Obamacare.
That is a great point. Now, of course, Katrina, it is not lost on us that we have a catastrophe on our border right now. The president has pointed out the crisis that continues down there. Yet these Democrats support open borders while Donald Trump is fighting harder than ever to solve this border crisis, right?
Yeah, you have one man really trying to take on what can truly ruin a generation of prosperity in this country, and he's having to do it all by himself. And I think a lot of people find that to be unacceptable, especially when he actually came forward and said, let's look at putting these people in communities who say they want to care for them and protect them and who say that they're actually better than Americans. So let's just let them go there and let them prosper where they are. Meanwhile, protecting the American citizens, like in my home state of Texas, whose cities are being overrun. You had cities in Arizona declare a state of emergency. The burden that is placed on the resources and the tools that are available to impoverished communities are being overburdened, and the Democrats just simply don't care. And now that we want to say, okay, fine, take them, they don't want them. Again, highlighting this idea that it's okay to have illegals come into your communities, but not ours.
Yeah, the hypocrisy continues time after time after time here. And now now that it's hitting home, and we want to send the people that are coming over the border illegally to cities like Los Angeles, where all the celebrities live, where Hollywood lives, maybe now they're going to be singing a different tune. It's very interesting.
It's the compassionate thing to do.
Yeah, exactly. Now, President Trump appeared, Katrina, at another epic Trump rally in Green Bay, Wisconsin, and addressed the Democrats' phony Russia collusion hoax.
But the radical, liberal Democrats put all their hopes behind their collusion delusion, which has now been totally exposed to the world as a complete and total fraud. The greatest political hoax in American history. It really has been.
Now, aren't the 2020 Democrats complicit if they don't speak out about the abuse of power by the Obama administration? I mean, this is something that is so blatantly clear, I think, to so many people in this country now.
Look, the Democrats aren't just, complicit. It's the fact that they're actually participating in the cover-up of what looks like outright sedition to a sitting president of the United States. When you have the Democrat Party and the media and the deep state who essentially tried to inculcate the masses in supporting this type of overthrowing the government act, is extremely disturbing. So not only are they complicit, but they're still continuing to perpetuate this fake Russia hoax narrative and trying to broaden it into be more than what it actually is. But I do think that most Americans do realize what has happened. There are a lot of people who perhaps didn't support President Trump before, have an idea of what's been happening to him, to you, and to his supporters. And I think that they're really fed up about it, because if this is the kind of stuff where government can not only be abused, but the propaganda pushed through the media of the abuse of agencies targeting American citizens, not only can it happen to a political candidate, but it can happen to any one of the Americans that ends up on the wrong side of a rogue bureaucrat or government agency.
Yeah, that's exactly right. And you and I both know that is why our president is fighting so hard every single day. He said specifically, I never want to see this happen to another president. And we should all be grateful for that. Republican or Democrat, this is the United States of America. We do not stand for things like this in our country. It's time for an investigation into the investigators. It's time to get to the bottom of this. And I know you agree with me. Thank goodness we have a president who, despite all this nonsense, despite the fact that there have been so many distractions, is focused every single day on fighting for the American people. And we see that by the great things that have been happening around this country. People constantly having their lives improved by this president. And Kat, you and I both know he's never going to stop.
Well, and he shouldn't stop. And once this investigation of the investigators is made public and what they have done to many Americans, this may not have just happened to the presidential campaign that we just experienced. This could have preceded other campaigns, and we need to know that. And most importantly, Laura, is the people responsible for these heinous crimes should be held accountable. There should be people going to prison for what has happened, lying to the FISA courts, illegally spying on American citizens. People's lives have been ruined, families have been destroyed, and they need to be held accountable fully.
Yep, you got that right. Well, Katrina, we always love talking to you. Thank you so much for joining me today, and I know we will have you back soon.
So great to see you, Laura.
The field of Democrats for 2020 is growing, but they're selling the same old failed policies, including socialism, open borders, and total chaos for America. That's the real news for today. I'm Laura Trump from Studio 45 at Trump Tower in New York City. Thanks for joining us, everybody.